Deep space was silent. No stars burned nearby. No planets moved in slow circles. This part of the universe was empty, cold, and forgotten. For thousands of years, nothing had entered this star system. It was marked as dead space on every galactic map. And yet, something was there. A single starship floated in the darkness. It did not glow. It did not move. It did not send signals. It looked small, simple, and almost fragile. Its surface was smooth and dark, like quiet water under night skies. No flags. No markings. Only one thing was clear. It was human. Far away, an alien patrol fleet crossed the edge of the system. These ships belonged to the Krithan Empire, one of the strongest powers in the galaxy. Their ships were massive, sharp, and bright with energy. They ruled hundreds of systems. Few dared to challenge them. Suddenly, alarms echoed across the lead ship. An officer lifted his head. "Commander, we are receiving a signal." The commander frowned. "From where?" The officer paused. His four eyes blinked fast. "From everywhere and nowhere." The bridge grew quiet. Sensors began to shake. Screens filled with broken symbols. Numbers changed without reason. The signal had no shape, no clear source, no known pattern. "This is impossible," the commander said calmly. "Run a full scan." They did. The scanners locked onto the human ship. At first the crew laughed. "It is tiny," one officer said. "No weapons ports," said another. "No shield glow," a third added. A human ship. Alone. In deep space. Everyone in the galaxy knew humans. Humans were weak. Humans were slow. Humans were emotional. They fought each other more than others. Their technology was young. Their ships were small. They survived only because bigger empires ignored them. The commander relaxed in his chair. "A lost ship," he said. "Probably broken. Mark it and move on." But the scanner screamed again. The human ship had no visible engine. No heat trail. No power core. No energy output. Yet space around it was wrong. Stars behind the ship bent slightly like light passing through water. Distance numbers changed when measured twice. Time signals arrived early then late. One officer whispered, "Commander, space is moving around the ship." The laughter stopped. The commander stood up slowly. "That is not possible." They increased scan power. The scanners failed. They reset them. They failed again. One by one, systems shut down and restarted without command. Navigation lost its lock. Weapon systems refused to arm. Communication signals echoed back in strange voices that were not their own. Fear entered the room. "This ship breaks universal law," an officer said quietly. "No object can exist without energy. No mass can bend space without force." The human ship did both. Still it did nothing. It floated. It waited. The commander felt something he had not felt in many cycles. Doubt. "Send a warning signal," he ordered. Standard threat message. The signal was set. There was no reply. Instead, the human ship moved. No engines fired. No light flashed. No sound was made. Space itself folded. The ship slid forward, smooth and calm, like it was being carried by the universe. Distance disappeared. One moment it was far. The next moment it was close. Too close. The alien fleet pulled back in panic. Thrusters burned hard. Formation broke. The human ship stopped again. It did not chase. It did not attack. It simply existed. The commander stared at the view screen. His voice was low. "Humans cannot build this." He remembered old reports. Humans adapting fast. Humans surviving impossible wars. Humans learning from failure instead of hiding it. Maybe the galaxy had been wrong. Maybe humans were not weak. Maybe they were quiet. The ship sent a single pulse. Not a message. Not a threat. A feeling. Every being on the bridge felt it. Cold. Heavy. Ancient. The universe was watching through that ship. The commander swallowed hard. "This is no weapon," he said. "This is something else." The ship began to drift away. Again no engines. As it moved, space closed behind it like calm water. No trace was left. No signal followed. Only silence. The commander leaned forward and whispered words that would later spread across the galaxy. This ship should not exist. And for the first time in galactic history, the strongest empire felt afraid of a single human starship that never fired a shot. The Galactic Council chamber was never silent. Hundreds of species filled the massive hall. Some floated in the air. Some crawled along crystal floors. Others sat on thrones of metal, bone, or light. Voices overlapped in different tones, clicks, and echoes. This was the place where the galaxy decided its future. Today the mood was loud and amused. At the center of the chamber, a large hollow screen showed the image of the human starship. Small, dark, simple. Laughter spread across the hall. A single ship? Mocked a tall reptilian delegate. This is what caused sensor panic? Said another, glowing with blue light. The Krithan commander stood before them. His posture was stiff. His voice was controlled, but his eyes showed unease. This ship broke our scans, he said. It moved without engines. Space bent around it. More laughter. Your sensors are old, a counselor said. Or your crew was tired, another added. The word human echoed like a joke. Everyone knew humans. They came from a small yellow star. One world. Too many wars. Too much emotion. They rose fast, yes, but only because they copied others. They had no ancient knowledge. No great fleets. No legendary weapons. Humans survived because stronger empires were busy fighting each other. An elder being of stone and fire spoke slowly. Humans are survivors, not leaders. They react. They do not shape the galaxy. Many nodded. The hollow screen changed. Data streams appeared. Time errors. Distance failures. Energy readings that made no sense. Silence returned. These readings are real, the Krithan commander said. We verified them 3 times. A soft voice rose from the human section of the hall. Ambassador Hale stood alone. Humans were new to the council. Their space was small. Their voice held little power. Hale wore no armor, no glowing symbols. Only simple dark clothing. Honored council, Hale said calmly, that ship is not lost. Eyes turned toward him. It is not broken, he continued. And it is not a weapon. A scaled delegate hissed. Then what is it? Hale paused. It is a warning. The room exploded with noise. A warning from humans? You can barely protect your borders. You ask us to fear a single ship? Hale did not raise his voice. We did not ask you to fear it. We asked you not to follow it. That angered them. A tall insect-like admiral slammed a limb on the floor. You do not give orders here, human. The council voted quickly. Decision. Right arrow, the ship would be captured. Right arrow, its secrets would be taken. Right arrow, human resistance would be ignored. The Krithan fleet would lead the mission. As the vote ended, Hale spoke one last time. You see weakness, he said. That is because you only measure power in weapons. No one listened. Far from the council, the human ship moved again. Behind it, space folded gently like a path opening only for it. The Krithan fleet followed. Dozens of warships entered pursuit. Their engines burned bright. Their weapons charged. Confidence returned to their crews. The human ship did not speed up. It allowed them to come closer. Inside the lead Krithan ship, officers smiled. We have it, one said. Lock jump nets. The nets activated. They failed. Navigation drifted. Distances stretched. 1 second became 2. 2 became none. The human ship turned slightly. Not to aim. Not to threaten. To acknowledge. A message appeared on all alien screens at once. Simple. Clear. Human. Do not follow us. The admiral laughed. Empty words. The fleet pushed forward. Then the first ship disappeared. No explosion. No warning. No debris. It was simply gone. Sensors screamed. Panic spread. Formation broke. The human ship did not stop. It moved deeper into the dark. The Krithan admiral whispered to himself, fear replacing pride. They are not running. Behind him, space closed. Ahead of him, the universe waited. And for the first time, the galaxy began to understand a terrible truth. Humans were never just survivors. They were learning something no one else dared to learn. The chase began in silence. The human ship moved ahead, calm and steady, drifting through the dark like it belonged there. Behind it, the Krithan fleet burned with energy. Engines roared. Lights flashed. Weapons armed. Pride pushed fear aside. We will not lose to a single human ship, the admiral said. Orders spread fast. Increase speed. Lock tracking beams. Prepare gravity traps. The fleet accelerated. Space twisted. Distances stopped making sense. The human ship was far, then close, then far again. Sensors showed it in 3 places at once. Time markers jumped forward and backward. This is impossible, an officer said. Our data is fighting itself. The admiral clenched his claws. Stay on course. The Krithan ships activated warp drives. Normally warp tore space open. Bright lines of energy marked their path. But this time warp failed. Space refused to open. Instead it bent. The human ship did not tear space. It asked space to move. Stars curved gently around it. Light slowed. Shadows stretched. The universe changed its shape to let the ship pass. The Krithan fleet forced its way through. The cost was high. One ship's engines overheated. Another lost all power and drifted into nothing. Crews shouted as systems collapsed without damage, without warning. The human ship still did not fire. No weapons detected, an officer cried. Still nothing. How can they fight without fighting? The admiral shouted. They tried again. Energy lances fired. The beams crossed space and missed. Not because the human ship moved. Because the beams arrived before they were fired. Time folded. The beams struck empty space where the ship had been seconds ago, or seconds later. Crew members froze in fear. This chase is breaking reality, one whispered. The human ship slowed. It waited. The admiral saw his chance. All ships surround it. The fleet spread out, forming a net of metal and light. Gravity traps activated. Space hardened like a cage. For a moment the human ship stopped. Hope returned. We have them, the admiral said softly. The ship pulsed once. Not energy. Not sound. A change. The gravity traps turned inward. The fleet's own fields pulled against themselves. Metal screamed. Hulls bent. Systems shut down to protect crews from forces that should not exist. The human ship passed through the center. The cage collapsed. One Krithan ship folded into itself like paper. Another stretched long and thin before snapping out of view. No fire. No wreckage. Just absence. The fleet panicked. Retreat. Break formation. Emergency jump. Some ships escaped. Some did not. The human ship continued forward. At last, a voice filled the Krithan admiral's mind. Not through speakers. Not through language. Through meaning. We warned you. The admiral fell to his knees. This is not technology, he whispered. This is understanding. The chase ended. The human ship vanished into folded space, leaving behind broken physics and silent survivors. Across the galaxy, data from the battle spread fast. Empires watched in disbelief. A single human ship had faced a war fleet, and won without firing a weapon. Old rules were breaking. And the universe itself seemed to be taking humanity's side. The galaxy demanded answers. After the failed chase, fear spread faster than light. Empires closed borders. Fleets were recalled. Scientists argued. Priests prayed. No one could explain how a human ship had broken the rules of the universe. On Earth the sky was calm. No alarms. No celebrations. No cheers. Deep beneath the surface of the planet, far below oceans and stone, a quiet chamber existed. Few humans knew about it. Fewer still understood it. Inside the chamber, old men and women stood around a large sphere of soft light. They were not soldiers. They were not rulers. They were listeners. A woman with silver hair spoke gently. The chase has ended, she said. They did not learn. A younger man replied, they never do. Not at first. The sphere pulsed slowly like a breathing heart. Long ago humanity almost ended itself. Wars burned cities. Weapons poisoned land and sky. Technology grew faster than wisdom. Humans learned how to destroy before they learned how to understand. The breaking point came during the last Earth conflict. Weapons were ready. Orders were given. The world stood seconds from fire. Then the systems failed. Everywhere. Missiles would not launch. Reactors shut down. Satellites went silent. Not from attack. Not from error. From refusal. Scientists spent years searching for the cause. They found patterns. The universe had rules. Deep rules. Not written in equations but in balance. Every action pushed back. Every force answered another. Human weapons broke that balance. The universe pushed back. Most species would have ignored the warning. Humans did not. They studied failure. They stopped asking, how do we control? They started asking, how do we listen? Generations passed. Human science changed. They no longer forced energy through space. They no longer tore holes in reality. They learned to feel the natural paths the universe already used. The Starship was the result. It did not burn fuel. It did not fight space. It moved where space wanted to move. It was not built to conquer. It was built to survive a universe that punished force. Back in the hidden chamber, the silver-haired woman placed her hand near the sphere. The galaxy still believes power is loud, she said. The sphere brightened. They will test us again, the younger man warned. Yes, she replied. And they will fail again. Far away, alien councils argued. Some called humans liars. Some called them monsters. Some finally called them dangerous. Old recordings of Earth wars were studied. Images of chaos, death, and fire. They were violent, an alien scholar said. Yes, another replied. And they survived it. That frightened them more than any weapon. The human ship drifted through unknown space. It passed stars that bent toward it, not away. It crossed regions where time slowed to a whisper. It did not command the universe. It agreed with it. A message formed within the ship, not to aliens but to Earth. They are afraid now. The silver-haired woman closed her eyes. Fear is expected, she said. Understanding takes longer. The galaxy stood at a turning point. Either it would learn, or it would force humans to remind it why the universe itself had chosen to listen to them. And somewhere between the stars, the human ship waited, patient, silent, and unstoppable, not as a weapon, but as a lesson the galaxy was not ready to learn. Fear does not stay quiet. After the secret of the human ship began to spread, the galaxy changed. Trade routes closed. Border worlds armed themselves. Old enemies formed new alliances not for power but for survival. The strongest empires made a decision. If humans could not be understood, they would be stopped. A grand coalition was formed. Fleets from many species gathered in one place for the first time in history. Thousands of warships filled the stars. Their weapons could crack planets. Their shields could block suns. They believed numbers would save them. At the center of the formation, command ships shared data from the Krithan disaster. Broken physics, missing ships, impossible movement. We adapt, an admiral said. No matter the cost. Deep space shifted. The human ship appeared. No warning. No flash. No sound. It simply existed between the fleets. Weapons charged instantly. Fire. Energy storms crossed space. Light turned white. The power released could have destroyed a star. The human ship remained untouched. The attacks did not hit shields. They missed entirely. Space curved. Time slipped. The beams passed through moments that no longer lined up. Alien crews shouted in fear. Our weapons are useless. Our systems are failing. The human ship moved forward. As it passed near the first fleet line, alien reactors shut down. Power faded like dying stars. Ships drifted, blind and silent. No damage. No death. Just helplessness. This is mercy, one alien captain whispered. The coalition tried something new. They activated ancient weapons, devices banned by galactic law. Reality anchors. Space locks. Time nets. For a moment, the human ship slowed. Hope returned. Then the anchors cracked. Not from force. From disagreement. The universe rejected them. The devices shattered, and with them, the fleet's last confidence. One empire's flagship folded into a thin line and vanished. Another was stretched across seconds, its crew frozen between heartbeats. Panic spread. Retreat orders overlapped. But space no longer obeyed them. The human ship stopped. A voice echoed across every channel. Simple. Human. This ends now. The fleets froze. The voice continued. We will not destroy you. We will not rule you. But we will not allow you to break the universe again. One by one, systems returned. Power flowed back. Ships stabilized. The human ship turned away. As it left, space healed behind it. The battle ended without victory, only survival. Across the galaxy, the strongest fleets had fallen. Not in fire, but in understanding that force no longer mattered. And humanity had proven something terrifying. They did not need to conquer the stars. The stars already listened to them. The galaxy held its breath. After the great battle, no empire celebrated. No victory songs were sung. Fleets returned home damaged in pride, not in metal. Every ruler knew the same truth. Humanity could have ended them. Instead, it had stopped. The Galactic Council was called again. This time, the chamber was quiet. No laughter. No mocking voices. Seats once filled with confidence were now filled with fear. At the center of the hall, a single human stood. Ambassador Hale. He wore the same simple clothes. No armor. No guards. Above him, a massive hollow image appeared. The human ship. Silent. Waiting. An elder alien finally spoke. Why did you spare us? Hale answered without hesitation. Because we know where your path leads. The council listened. Once, Hale said, humans believed power meant control. We nearly destroyed our world learning that lesson. Images filled the chamber. Earth wars. Burning cities. Broken skies. We survived because the universe stopped us, Hale continued. And we listened. A military lord leaned forward. You could rule us, he said. Why don't you? Hale met his gaze. Because rule requires fear. And fear always breaks balance. The human ship pulsed softly. We do not seek empire, Hale said. We seek stability. The council shifted uneasily. Then what do you want? A delegate asked. Hale took a breath. A choice, he said. Stop forcing the universe. Stop tearing it for power. Learn restraint, or step aside. Anger rose. Fear followed. You threaten us, a voice accused. No, Hale replied calmly. We warn you. The hollow image changed. Stars dimmed where ancient weapons had been used. Systems collapsed under reckless energy use. The universe is not endless, Hale said. It responds. And it remembers. Silence ruled the chamber. At last the eldest being spoke. What happens if we refuse? Hale looked up at the image of the ship. Then the universe will refuse you, he said. The council voted. Not in unity. Not in strength. In survival. Treaties were signed. Weapons were sealed. Research paths changed. For the first time, galactic law included restraint as power. As the meeting ended, Hale turned away. The human ship moved. It did not stay to watch. It did not demand loyalty. It left. Across the galaxy, something shifted. Empires slowed their growth. Wars cooled. Silence gained meaning. Humans did not become rulers. They became a boundary the galaxy would never cross again. And the universe finally rested. The human starship moved into the unknown. No maps charted this space. No empire claimed it. Stars flickered in patterns no one had ever seen. Comets moved in slow, golden arcs, and light bent softly around invisible curves. The universe itself seemed alive, watching, welcoming, and waiting. Inside the ship, the crew was quiet. They did not celebrate. They did not speak of victory or fear. They were simply aware that what they had done had changed everything. Above them, Earth shone far behind. Tiny. Fragile. The cradle that had taught humanity patience, humility, and listening. The humans had left wars behind, leaving only lessons for others to learn. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, alien empires struggled to understand what had happened. Reports came from every corner. Fleets that could destroy worlds now floated uselessly, weapons failed, and sensors could no longer measure space reliably. Diplomats spoke in whispers. Scientists argued over the laws of physics themselves. Even the oldest and wisest delegates admitted, quietly, that humans had achieved something no one else could. They survived, one elder said. And without a single shot fired. They didn't conquer, said another. They simply existed differently. Some feared them. Some respected them. All were silent. The galaxy had been reminded of its place. Back on the starship, Ambassador Hale watched the stars shift. The humans had a choice. They could strike, destroy, or take what they wanted. And yet they had not. Their power was not in domination. It was in restraint. A young crew member asked quietly, "Why not show them what we can do? End all threats." Hale smiled softly. Because power without purpose is empty. We do not seek fear. We seek balance. That is the greatest strength we can offer. The ship pulsed gently as it moved. It had defied the universe, not by breaking it but by understanding it. The paths it took were not shortcuts. They were conversations. Every fold of space, every moment in time, had been acknowledged and respected. And yet, the galaxy would remember it differently. Legends would grow. Stories would be told. Some would call humanity dangerous. Others would call them wise. And somewhere in the vastness, every star that had bent to let the ship pass would carry its memory. The human starship approached a new system. Unknown worlds, untouched by empires, awaited them. New paths, new possibilities stretched out like a web across space. The ship did not rush. It drifted with patience, carrying the quiet strength of a species that had learned the hardest lessons in the universe. The universe itself seemed to bend around them one last time. Not in fear. Not in conflict. But in recognition. And in that moment, one thought became clear across every mind that watched, even those of the strongest alien rulers. Humans were no longer just survivors. They were teachers. Guardians. A force that did not dominate but that demanded respect. The ship turned its course. Stars lit its path. Silence followed. The galaxy would never be the same. And as the human starship disappeared into the deep unknown, A single thought echoed in the minds of every being who had seen it. The universe was not afraid of humanity. It was waiting for them. The starship drifted into the infinite, carrying with it the proof that even the smallest, simplest species could defy the universe, not through war but through understanding, restraint, and courage. And somewhere, among the stars and planets yet unseen, humanity began a new journey. Not as conquerors. Not as rulers. But as the quiet force the galaxy had never expected. The force that would forever change how the universe itself saw them.